Most people think the problem is being wrong. So they work hard to be right or to be confident or to be certain, or at least hard to challenge. But there is a quieter problem than that. What do you do after you understand something? Because a lot of people think they're curious, but what they really want is closure. They want an answer so they can stop looking. And that's where something important gets lost. Carl Sagan understood that. Not just science, not just skepticism, not just wonder. He understood that seeing clearly is not the same thing as staying in contact. A lot of people use understanding as an exit. Something clicks, the pattern makes sense, they can explain something now. And the moment they can explain it, they're already halfway gone. Their curiosity relaxes, tension pulls back, the thing feels finished. Not because reality is finished, because the mind mistakes clarity for completion. That's the move that Carl Sagan seemed unwilling to make. People talk about him like he was cautious or measured and careful, maybe even a little restrained. And maybe he was, but not because he lacked conviction. He sounded that way because he understood something a lot of people don't. That knowing something does not complete it. It doesn't close reality. It doesn't end mystery. It doesn't make the thing stop unfolding because you found a clean description for part of it. And there was something else about him too. Carl Sagan, he was definitely nerdy in the real sense. Deeply fascinated, intelligent, obsessive. He was in love with science and space and big questions. He never hid that to seem cooler. He was one of the major figures who helped make that kind of intelligence feel compelling instead of socially dead. Before Carl Sagan, a lot of intelligence would just come off dry or awkward or academic, just socially outside of the room. Carl Sagan made it feel alive or romantic, beautiful even. He made curiosity feel cool. He made wonder feel masculine without aggression. He made intelligence feel emotionally alive. He made awe feel like strength instead of softness. He did not become cool by hiding the nerd. He became cool by embracing it. And that matters. Because a lot of people use intelligence defensively. To rise above, to harden, to dominate, to protect themselves from being touched by what they know. Sagan didn't seem to want that. He didn't flatten the unknown just to make himself sound strong. He didn't turn knowledge into domination. He didn't use understanding as a way to rise above the mystery. He stayed inside it. That's why he could say, somewhere something incredible is waiting to be known. And what matters about that line is not just the beauty of it, it's the posture. He's not standing there acting like reality has been pinned down. He's not saying, I have arrived. He's saying, there is more. And more importantly, he's saying, I am willing to remain in a relationship with that more. And that's rare. Because a lot of people don't actually want relationship with reality. They want a stable position inside of it. They want the right view, the right answer, the right identity, the right conclusion. And once they have it, they stop looking. Or they keep looking, but only for confirmation. That's not curiosity. That's a search for psychological furniture, something to sit on, something that holds still, something that makes the room feel finished. That's why he sounded different. A lot of people speak as if reality is settled. Carl Sagan spoke as if reality was alive. That changes the whole tone, because once reality is alive, you don't get to stand over it so easily. You don't get to conclude it so quickly. You don't get to reduce it without losing contact with it. And this matters outside of science, because people do this with a lot of things. They'll do it with relationships. They think they figured someone out, and then they stop meeting them. They stop seeing them for who they actually are. They do it with themselves. They get one good insight or one sharp piece of self-recognition and then quietly turn that into an identity. Or they do it with pain. They might name the pattern and understand the childhood dynamic and see the difference clearly, and then assume the work is basically done. But understanding is not the end of contact. Sometimes it's the beginning of it. That's the part a lot of people overlook. Because the mind, it loves an answer for a reason. Answers, they can feel like control. Questions don't. Questions require you to remain open without collapsing, to stay interested without needing immediate resolution, to keep looking without turning the whole thing into anxiety. That takes more discipline than certainty does, and more courage, because certainty gives you somewhere to stand. Wonder does not. Wonder leaves you standing there without the usual walls. And Carl Sagan, more than most people, seemed willing to stand there. Not empty, not vague, not confused, just unfinished. That may be the real distinction. He wasn't uncertain in the weak sense. He was unfinished in the honest way. There's a big difference between those two. One is not knowing what to think, and the other is refusing to pretend that reality stops where your current understanding does. That's humility. Not shrinking your needs, or not low confidence, or not making yourself small. Just the refusal to use knowledge as a way to leave the living edge of things. And maybe that's why he still feels different. Because a lot of intelligent people, they like to just understand, but they exit after the understanding. They solve the thing, or label the thing, or explain something, and then they're gone. Carl Sagan, he stayed. He let understanding become a place to stand, not a place to stop. That's a very different way of being.